Hello there, this is Luke from Play.
And this is Paul.
And today we're going to be talking about our most anticipated games of 2015. Now let's start with you because I'm still trying to narrow mine down. What would you say is your most anticipated game of the year?
Possibly Hotline Miami 2.
Okay.
I know it's a sequel, and I
know it's a sequel too. That's nothing special, man.
And it's probably going to be more of the same, pretty much. But Hotline Miami is like one of my favourite games of all time.
You got the platinum, didn't you?
I did get the platinum.
Kudos.
It's my only platinum.
Oh,
it's the only game I bothered to get a platinum for. That's how much I love it. But I just think I loved the first game. I loved the story of it. I thought it was really smart. I loved the game itself. The fact that it kind of the way you start off, it's just about surviving, and then when you get better at it, it becomes a really, really good high score game.
Yeah.
And I just trust that those guys who made that game to make another awesome one. So
fair play.
Hotline Miami is kind of an easy win for me. It'll be interesting to see what they do with. I know they've got lots of multiple characters now, and it kind of seems to be a game about the reaction to the first game, which is the kind of like pretentious stuff that I love.
Meta game,
yeah.
Love it.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, man. Do you reckon we'll see the level editor stuff on PlayStation?
Hopefully they haven't said that it's not going to be on PlayStation. It's not the type of thing I'm going to bother with myself, just because I just can't be asked for that type of stuff. But if other people make awesome levels, then that's good. That's more levels to play.
Exactly. It's like Little Big Planet. Like, I'm far too lazy to put in the time to make good levels, but I'll gladly play through millions of other people's ones. So that's fine.
Yeah. Do you want to do one of yours now?
I've decided that Bloodborne is my top one, which you probably saw coming a mile off.
Yeah, given that like Dark Souls games are like your...
I've only finished Dark Souls 2 4 times so far, so I probably should go back to that and just kind of get back up to speed with it. No, I really like what they've done with Bloodborne. I think combining kind of the Souls oppressive atmosphere and the hardcore combat, but with more of an action slant, something closer to like Revengeance or DMC or that kind of thing. It's not as mechanically tight as those games, nor is there kind of the score chasing mentality of it, but it's closer to Souls, and that's fine with me because I love both those kinds of games. The new mechanics I was worried about at first, like the regain system, so any damage you take from enemies, you can kind of heal back if you counter attack fast enough. On paper, I thought that was an awful idea. After trying it out, I freaking love it. It's such an incentive. It's such a hard thing to fight against. Like, they're basically taunting you the entire game. Like, you've taken damage. Come on, you can get your life back. Just come and hit me. Come on and hit me.
Well, it seems like my impression I get is that they're trying to make it a sort of more aggressive combat system.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's like, it feels like playing Dark Souls and fast forward. Like, it's intense as all hell, and the idea of having this random dungeon beneath the city as well, that's really exciting for me. Like, every time you go back, that's going to be different with different enemies, bosses and loot. Doing that in co-op with a mate, hopefully there's some kind of organised co-op this time, because before obviously you could only do random summons.
Yeah.
But I'd love to be able to do that Chalice dungeon with like a friend, just doing it through on co-op. Like, that's the kind of thing I'd easily do at least once a week. Just, it's going to be different every time. It's going to be horrible every time. And that, for some reason, sounds good to me.
Fair enough.
Go on, give me another one. Give me another one of yours.
Well, you
can't have Bloodborne, I just had that.
No. My next one is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Interesting.
Again, Metal Gear Solid series. I love the Metal Gear Solid games. Ground Zeroes was good. Everything that's been shown of the game looks awesome.
It really does.
Yeah, like the whole... And it's definitely like the biggest change that's been made to the series, like how open it looks like it's going to be. The stuff they've shown about how enemies will adapt to your tactics. So the example I gave was if you use headshots with tranquilizer darts a lot, then they'll start wearing helmets to stop you doing that, forcing you to sort of change your approach. I really like that aspect. That's cool.
Yeah.
Then they showed the buddy stuff with Quiet, like being able to get these allies. And also I like the fact that you can potentially miss those allies. Like, it's not guaranteed that you're just going to get given them in the course of the story. Those are things that you have to find yourself. And being able to order them to help you in different ways, that was all really cool. And then we've got to see Metal Gear Online, which looks
That looked
awesome.
crazy. I mean, it was obviously scripted, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
at the same time, going from the Rainbow Six footage that was scripted to casual game, like I say casual, it was kind of organised gameplay. But it didn't lose all that much, and I think we'll see a lot of the same in Metal Gear Online. I think with a good team of players, you will be able to pull off the kind of really cool moments that you saw in that trailer.
Yeah, and it's just, there's always like, because they showed that the base invasion thing.
Yeah.
And you sort of think, okay, that's the multiplayer, and then they show you, then you've got this as well. Like it always seems like Kojima's got something extra from Metal Gear Solid 5.
Always.
And he's got his Christmas Day Kojima broadcast coming
Yeah.
up, so it's going to be interesting to see what else we're going to find out about it.
I mean, he says this every time, but do you think this will actually be his last one?
No,
No.
that's what he does.
Yeah, that is kind of his thing, I suppose.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your next one?
I'm gonna be optimistic with mine and say Final Fantasy 15.
Hey! Step on the gas and don't look back! One step ahead of you.
Whoa! That thing is huge! And it's looking right at us!
This can't be for real.
15.
Okay.
I don't know how far along it is, but I think a tail end of 2015 date isn't unreasonable.
No, it's possible.
I think if they just stop making crappy mobile games and actually focus on releasing a new game rather than porting old ones to new systems, maybe they can get this new one finished. And I hope they can, because it looks ridiculous, like the open world nature of it. Not sold on the kind of road trip angle just yet,
No.
or the dude bros in the car to begin with. But the world itself looks amazing.
Yeah, it
like
looks awesome.
there's a lot of it I'm not sold on, but even if it was just that world to wander around and look at things in, I think I'd still play that game. That English dub though, that I don't know if that's going to be possible. I think I might have to demand a dual audio track on the game,
Yeah.
because I can't be doing with that asshole in the back seat just telling me he needs a bath. He could do with a bath. Like, it was kind of funny when Balthier did it in 12, but yeah, now you're getting a bit close to all that Leona Lewis bullshit that was the end of 13, like eating toast and getting out of bed. And what is she talking about? It's nothing to do with Final Fantasy.
No, that's not really what we want.
Nonsense. But no, the gameplay is much more action based, which brings it closer to Kingdom Hearts, which is another thing that I frickin' love, so that's fine with me. But at the same time, there's a lot of kind of stat crunching and classic Final Fantasy menu management stuff going on as well. So
Yeah.
I am optimistic that it will be wonderful. I will either be playing it with the voices turned down and subtitled, or the Japanese audio though, because I cannot be doing with that.
Yeah. Well, it's the first Final Fantasy title that I've been excited about for ages.
And that's
so,
quite telling, really. I think that's the
Yeah.
same for a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me with my my obvious one. Hit me with a curveball.
Okay. So my one, we don't actually know anything about, and it doesn't have a
Right.
name, but it's the it's the teaser that was released for the new game from Hazelight.
Okay.
Now,
Who are they?
well, they are basically a team which seem to be made of people that were poached from the team that made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Okay.
That's the first reason I'm excited about it, because I really like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I think it's awesome. The fact that it's one of those games that's being made by a small team, like 15 or so people, and I tend to find that games that come from small teams tend to be more interesting. So
Is that what one would call an indie game?
I don't think you can call it an indie game because it's being backed by EA, but it's got that kind of indie.
Are EA not an indie studio?
No.
I'm mind blown,
No.
man.
Yeah, but basically we've had as a teaser of two blokes sitting in a train carriage. I don't know why. I don't know why that's got me excited. Two blokes sitting in a train carriage. One of them opens the door and they look out of it for a bit. That's all we know about the game. But
So
I
you're
don't know,
excited about a game that doesn't exist, that we don't know anything about, that so far we've only seen some commuters.
Yes, mystery's exciting.
That is true. Commuting, on the other hand, is not exciting.
No, they're not commuting. It's like a cargo train.
Okay.
So they shouldn't be in there.
They're
like
stowing away.
yeah, they're stowaways, like
Oh,
or
man.
hobos or something. I don't know, but it's from a studio who've made a really good game, and it's two blokes sitting in a train, and I like it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I might be a little bit more obvious, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I want more Destiny.
That's not really a surprise because that's basically all you play now.
Yeah, I can't be shaken off it. We were going through the stats earlier on today, and I looked at it and saw I had nearly 250 hours logged, and then realised that was on one of my characters alone.
Oh God! Oh my God!
So I only have 3 characters. That's all it'll allow.
Oh, well, you only have 3 characters,
But-
250 hours on one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 350 in total. I think the others haven't clocked nearly as much time as that one. But as a result, I demand more.
Do you think we can get a lot more?
I think
mean,
we will.
obviously, people sort of expecting perhaps Destiny 2 at some point, but
Yeah. Well, we know that we're getting a second expansion. Expansion again, maybe not the right word. DLC is probably closer to it. Coming in the form of House of Wolves in early 2015. I don't really know what we're expecting to see in that in terms of content, because frankly what was there in The Dark Below isn't all that impressive in terms of volume, but in terms of quality it is excellent. So you only had like 2 new strikes on PlayStation. I feel for our Xbox brethren who only got 1 of those.
no, screw those guys.
Actually, no, you're right. And a handful of story missions, a bunch of new bounties and gear and stuff like that. But what was added just helps make that variety. It's too expensive for what it is, sure. But when you've put that many hours into a game, like I'm going to put that many more into it, probably, including all the extra DLC and gubbins and new raids and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of feel not justified, because it's not worth the price of a full price game for 2 pieces of content that big. But I will play it enough to warrant the price, so I'm not hating on it too much. Beyond that, we know from their original contract that leaked with Activision, between Activision and Bungie rather, that the original plan was for a game in the Destiny series, a core game every 2 years, with a major expansion coming in the off years,
Right.
in addition to all this kind of extra DLC content and stuff.
Yeah.
So in theory that should put like a Destiny 1.5, like a big update,
Okay.
probably around launch date, so early September in 2015, and I do hope that's the case. I like the fact they're updating it quite a lot, and there's new stuff going on a weekly basis, but it does need those big new content drops, and it needs them fairly often as well. Like you look at Final Fantasy 15, and they've done a really good job of supporting that game post-launch with like great new content, loads of new dungeons, and even new classes and stuff now as well. And that's what I want from Destiny. I want it to have that kind of MMO content trickle, so I can keep playing it and not having to keep do the Devil's Lair over and over again.
Oh, there you go. That's our game. That's our most exciting games then, and I expect that you won't actually be playing any of those. You'll just be playing Destiny.
Yeah,
rather than those other 2.
Well, I'll play Bloodborne first.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I'll do all my Destiny stuff, and then I'll go back, do a bit of Bloodborne, and then go back to Destiny again.
Good stuff.
Well, that's our picks for 2015. Hit us up on Twitter, letting us know what yours are.